Buenos días, David. Welcome to Business Spotlight Series.
Thank you. Well, happy to be here.
Today, I'm very excited to bring along David Llewellyn, Managing Director of the AVA, the Automatic Vending Association. Is the trade body of the vending industry in the UK. Now, did you know that every year UK consumers spend around 1.5 billion pounds in more than 420,000 refreshment vending machines? I didn't know that, so welcome, David.
Well, welcome. I mean, we are just part of a larger European business. I mean, there are 4.5 million vending machines across Europe. Just under 80,000 items are vended every day across Europe. That's, although in fairness, the majority of that is coffee.
Right. Well, I have to say, I stopped drinking coffee 3 months ago.
Okay.
I felt addicted to it. Psychologically, I
still buy something of the other 20% of items that there
tea. I moved to tea, so a bit more soft.
Okay.
Yes.
Green tea, I bet.
Yes. Now, David, tell us a little bit more of what you do and for how long you've been doing it, please.
I started this role in 2018. I mean, our main role as an association is to provide support to our members, the majority of whom are small business owners, many of them family run. There are 2 or 3 national companies, but the majority of them are local and regional companies. They don't have huge HR departments, legal, VAT, tax advice. That's what we provide. Also training and education so that they're, for personal development and practical things like engineering. I mean, one of the largest parts of our role, which has developed, strangely enough, since Brexit, I mean, it was quite a significant part beforehand. I mean, we currently have 37 different pieces of legislation going through the various UK home countries. And that's part of the issue. It's not just UK-wide. England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, and of course the Republic of Ireland, all have their own different legislative frameworks, and we have to deal with all of those for items which may affect, which could affect our members. So such things as extended producer responsibility, harmonisation of waste collection, single-use cup levies, deposit return schemes. I know Scotland's failed recently, but now we're looking at a UK scheme being introduced in 2025, 2026. That will impact on our members. And it's about managing that impact and guiding them through that. So that's sort of what we do.
That's a COP, the environmental COP26 and beyond. What impact did it have, particularly COP26 that was in the UK? What impact did it have on?
Well, I mean, more and more our members, and we're guiding our members in things like managing their carbon footprint and measuring it. So that becomes more important. But there are actually economic benefits to it. If you think about the old-fashioned metal machine with a glass front that either delivers your coffee or your confectionery or whatever. From the exterior, there's a lot of similarity to machines that you might have seen in the 60s and the 70s, but inside they are a lot more clever and smart nowadays. So things like automatic routing, ordering, managing control, making sure that when an operator goes out to refill a machine, they only have the right amount of stock with them, and they know where to go and how to get there in the most economic way. So all of that is a cost saving. But actually, it's also environmentally beneficial as well, because there are no unnecessary journeys and time and effort and energy saved. So it's that sort of balance, but also being able to explain to our members, yes, it's green, it's beneficial, but actually you can save money along the way as well.
Yes. Wow. So progress is being made on that front?
Very much so, yes. Yeah. I mean, and you see more and more technology being introduced. I mean, was it 3/4 of machines now are connected in one way or the other? It's 68% of all transactions, where they're paid for transactions, will buy contactless rather than cash. in 2022. We run an annual census. So that's a huge change. Some of that was driven by COVID, but it was the direction of travel anyway. But that's, yes, certainly it's sort of moved on. So yeah, so not far off 3/4 of all transactions no longer involve cash, which means it's a bit safer and more secure for the machines as well.
Yes.
There's no benefit from breaking into them.
So, David, before the interview, you were telling me how you got into the AVA. So, can you tell us how you ended up on this role?
Well, yes, I mean, I've been involved one way or the other in vending for nearly 30 years. I started out with a large corporate company, Nestle, with their own vending operation, then started up my own operation a little later. Also got involved in equipment manufacturers. So I've been involved, but as it sort of moved on, the AVA required someone who could sort of develop and manage the association, and yes, I took the role on in 2018. So they do say that once you get involved, I mean, I'd been involved in retail with Nestle for 20 years, but they do say that once you get involved in vending, you never leave.
Yeah,
and that does seem to be the case.
Yes, indeed.
I will leave at some stage.
Brilliant. So can you tell us a bit, what are the biggest challenges you found since you've been in this role?
I suppose it's the fact that, I mean, we work with a voluntary board. So individual members will come forward and help. We also have various committees, technical, environmental, commodities, who look at different issues which could affect the industry, but then look at how we interpret that and provide beneficial information to the members. So managing that number of volunteers and finding ways that they can get involved, which won't take them too much away from their day job, their proper job, but also making sure that they can provide valued and quality input to the association. And in fairness, they do. So it was me, but that's part of how we've developed the association. There is more willingness to get involved, and the more successful it is, the more it provides useful information, the more people want to get involved anyway. So
yes.
So that's the challenge. You're not dealing with a whole load of employees, but it's about getting people actively involved and engaging their interest and involvement.
Yes.
In fairness, the pandemic does help. Our previous chair, Gillian White, once said that for people to realise how much value the AVA has for them, all we need is a crisis. Wow, did we have a crisis? But what we provided, again, as I was saying earlier, that you have lots of SMEs. There was all this legislation, regulations, grants, guidance, restrictions, all coming out of central government. It became our job to make sure that was manageable and just picking out what was relevant to our members and helping them through.
Brilliant.
That helped a lot.
Yes. How many members do you have to date?
Just under a couple of hundred members. I mean, there are 500-600 vending operators in the UK, but there are a lot of also around smaller companies, new startups, development, but just some people, engineers who've decided to run a few vending machines. But our members have got like an 80% share of the overall UK vending market. The figure you quoted was just for coffee. The actual total vending business is actually worth 3.1 billion in 2022.
Okay.
I say 80% of that sits within our membership.
Okay. And is the membership based on the size of the company, the membership fee based on size?
Well, yes, we have a sort of a quality accreditation scheme. I mean, the point of having the AVA badge, here it is, of quality, is that you then get a guaranteed service. I mean, there's all the old tropes about, you can get everything out of a vending machine except your change. Those days are long gone, especially as there's less coins around nowadays. And it's making sure that our membership can provide a good level of service to their clients. So we run a quality accreditation system. If you can get up, and it doesn't matter what size you are, just as long as you're able to satisfy these requirements. And that's what we go through. So that's the hurdle. All right, yes, the subscription you pay is based on your turnover, but the membership is that you must get through this quality hurdle, I suppose.
Yes. Okay. So it's more okay.
Hmm.
Very good. What in your can you share with us a book you've read? I always ask this question. A book you've read.
I feel really bad about this. I mean, I have a bookshelf here with a number of business books on. Yes, but I don't read many business books. I mean, I've been involved in courses and coaching and things like that in the past, but when I read, I want to escape.
Yes.
So, I mean, I particularly love the Hilary Mantel trilogy of books about Henry VIII and Cromwell. They are, if you want to look at political machinations and how to manage politics, how to manage people, there's a rather interesting guide. I mean, just ignore the chopping the heads off bit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And of course, you can't beat Jack Reacher and Lee Child.
Yes. Wow. Brilliant. So there you go. The book of
Yes, I'm afraid not really business based.
Yeah. So either business, personal. It's good to know what's people's favorite book. Thanks for sharing that. Where do you see the AVA going? Say in the next 5 years, what are the plans for the AVA?
Well, and I think that, I mean, in a way, more of the same. But what we have to accept is that industry is changing. I mean, over the years I've been involved, there are a number of these smaller operators I was talking about earlier. They will develop. Some of those will develop and get larger, and the idea is that we will sort of bring them into our fold to make sure that what the client and the consumer gets is good service. But I think technology will change. The way people work changes. 3/4 of the vending equipment which is out there is in business and industry. Now, obviously, again, harking back to the pandemic, the business bit suffered, but industry, logistics, manufacturing, distribution, that actually developed and moved forward. I think we will see that change. How much it'll move away from businesses in the workplace and the cities, are different now to what they were 4 or 5 years ago. More people working from home, more fluid working, more hybrid working. So that will affect what is required in the workplace. So yes, unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But yes, technology will change and make this more, not more predictable, but more manageable.
Yeah,
I think. And we will see, acquisitions. There are a lot of companies where, yes, they are family owned, and then they're second and third generation and fourth generation people involved within the business. But also there are some people who are looking to how they can retire out of the business and then selling their interests on.
Yeah.
But that I think that sort of organic change will always happen.
Yes. So on that line, what are the biggest challenges running a business in your industry? Right
now, legislation. I mean, obviously, yes, there is inflationary pressures, interest rates, but the current CPI is running around about 9%. But at the beginning of the year, our industry rate of inflation was nearly 23%. With things like raw ingredients, materials, labor, transport, travel, fuel, all of those have gone up significantly. And still, according to our AVA census, so input costs have gone up by around about 19%, but actual charges have only gone up between 15 and 16%. Yeah. So that it's managing that margin difference between cost input and charge out that becomes the challenge, and 37 different pieces of legislation
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Okay, interesting. So, my final question to you, David, is well, not question really. Is there any offers? I mean, people watching this recording who are in your industry but don't know about the AVA. Do you have any news or offers that you would like to share with the audience?
Well, if people are wanting to get into vending, well, people or brands, I mean, say we had our industry exhibition, one of our industry exhibitions last week. Out of the 130, 140 exhibitors there, 20 were new brands trying to get into vending. Now this is what we're here for. We will provide the help and the guidance because there is huge opportunity. You know, you see that with the way that products that are being offered will change. If you go to a supermarket and you look at what's available on the shelves, that is continually changing. That's just the same in vending. There is always that sort of opportunity. And you know, it is a growing market, just growing in slightly different directions, whether it be, you know, vending, but automated retail like micro markets, smart fridges, coffee towers, all of those are sort of things which have developed a great deal over the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, there you go. And David, it's been a real pleasure having you with us at Business Spotlight. And thank you for sharing your experience and wisdom with us today. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.